Hello everybody, Friday beer and blades time. Quite a bit to talk about tonight. First off, massive congratulations to my mate Knifetex. For the past couple of years, Knifetex has been pulling his tripe out. On top of looking after his family and working full time, he's been studying to become a welder. And when he did that, he went back to school again to learn to be a welding inspector. And after taking what sounds like a complete bitch of an exam, he is now a certified welding instructor and welding educator. So that is really good news, because in theory that's going to be more income for less hard graft. You won't be spending quite so much time welding, but will be in the very responsible position of inspecting and certifying other people's work. So, nice one, Knifetex. This week, I had a couple of beer gifts in the post. I had one from Del, from Redpath Knife and Tool. He sent me a bottle of oatmeal stout from the Essex Brewery, and I had intended to keep it for a Friday evening video, but the label was a picture of a glass of the beer, and the body of it was black as the ace of spades, and it had a coffee coloured head, and it just looked lovely. And I like oatmeal stout. I've not had any for ages, so I drank it, and it was fantastic. If you ever see Essex Brewery oatmeal stout, have a go. The other beer gift came from one of the Instagram lads, NI Wild Camping. The NI is from Northern Ireland, and the package I got from Northern Ireland contained a suspect device. Well, a couple actually. Suspect device. A double IPA. And this is a collaboration between the Weird Beard Brewing Company in London and Farmageddon Brewery in Northern Ireland. This is, let's see, where's it gone? 8.3% ABV. I poured it out already to make it easier for me to show you the bottle, because it's bottle conditioned and I didn't want to stuff it up too much, but I think I have anyway. So it's a 330ml bottle, not a big bottle. It smells like an IPA, golden colour. And that is gorgeous. The flavour. It's got the hoppiness you'd expect from an IPA or a double IPA. It's nice and bitter. It's quite malty, but it tastes like drinking beer while you've got a mouthful of caramel toffees. It really is lovely. And one thing that stands out from this is, and I have to use a word here that I don't like because it is the right word to use, it's the mouth feel. A lot of the time you're drinking beer and in your mouth it feels like you're drinking a drink that's mostly water, but this feels thick and creamy and smooth in your mouth. Really, it's lovely. So, Suspect Device, brought to you by the Weird Beard Brewing Company and the Farmageddon Brewery. Now, another thing. About a month ago, one of my subscribers on YouTube, a fellow by the name of John, don't think he makes videos, so there's not going to be a link below, I don't think. He said he was going to send me a knife as a gift. And I said that was a month ago and nothing ever happened, and I think I know why now. I'd sort of resigned myself to the fact that it had been nicked by the customs, and at some point I would get the confiscation letter. But what I got today, I'll just cover up the personal information, was one of these. A card from the Royal Mail saying that we can't deliver your item because there's a fee to pay. And it's a customs charge. So I've been online this afternoon, paid the import duty, customs charge, and that's going to be delivered on Tuesday. So because it's a customs charge, it must be from outside Europe. And I haven't got any purchases in the pipeline at the moment from outside Europe. So I'm assuming this is what John sent a month ago. So I'll keep you updated on that. And now, finally, we get on to the blade. Got a review of a budget pocket knife. Could have been perfect, this one, but it's just not quite right. I'll show you why. It's the Colt Utility Scout. Okay, so this is how the knife comes, in quite a nice quality blue card box, and it's one of the quite heavy cardboard ones with a magnetic clasp on the front. Very nice. Colt Utility Scout. So it comes in a little plastic bag, little Johnny bag. This is the knife. We've got a nice moulded recess to house it. The less said about that, the better, I think. So what have we got? Traditional scout knife. 3 layers. Brass separators, brass liners. Goldy coloured bolsters. Blue jigged bone scales. 3 brass pins. And a brass emblem there. Quickly run through the features. We've got a can opener, an awl, large blade, Phillips head screwdriver, and a bottle opener screwdriver. So as you saw there, none of those tools have a half stop and none of them lock. So let's have a look at the blade. We've got a length of just over 2 and 2 5/8 tip to handle, about 65mm. Cutting edge is about 2 1/4, about 56-57mm. The blade is hollow ground, nice shape, more like the Wenger blade shape rather than the Victorinox. We've got the Colt logo there. Then on the other side we've got the model number, and it says, oh no we haven't, it says 440 stainless China. The model number is on one of the tools, I think. Let's have a quick shuft. There we go, there's the model number on the can opener. CT734. So, the knife weighs in grams, let's check the focus, 107.2, or in English 3 3/4 ounces. Quite a chunky knife, being 3 layers. The overall size isn't much different than Victorinox Spartan. Blade's a bit deeper, handle's a bit thicker, maybe a millimetre or 2 longer in the handle, but very much in that kind of ballpark, you might say. So what is the quality like? Overall it's very good. This knife cost me, I think, £20. So it's not expensive. The finish on the back is lovely. Everything is completely flush. Nice polish on the brass. Smooth transitions between the scales and the bolsters. Pins are nicely rounded. So the build quality is excellent. There are a couple of design flaws though, which do let the knife down. And it's a real shame because this would be a stunner for the price. The problem we've got is this layer here that has the can opener and the awl. And you can see there we've got a little recess for access. Now what they've done, because these two share a layer and they come right up close to each other, in fact they do cross over a little bit, they've thinned out the stock on both, and on the awl it's angled over as well, but it's thinned out so much that that is really bendy. And similarly on the can opener, we start off with a full thickness up to this change here, and it goes down to possibly less than half the thickness of the stock. So the bit where you need a lot of strength, they've made it very weak. Now what they could have done, they needn't have bent the awl over quite so far, and there's more than enough room to have left at least one of those at full thickness. We've also got blade rub between the can opener and the liner there, and that could have been avoided because on this side where we have the screwdrivers, we've got the bottle opener screwdriver there and we've got the Phillips there, there's an extra spacer between the blade and the brass liner, so that these stand well clear of the inside surface of the liner. And if they put a similar spacer at this side, the can opener wouldn't be rubbing against the liner. So I think really whoever made those decisions, and I'm going to assume they were decisions made on price and manufacturing costs, I think they've shot themselves in the foot there, because without those two weak tools this would be a lovely, lovely knife. Well, it's still a lovely, lovely knife. I just wouldn't trust those two tools to do any heavy work. There's no blade play there at all, rock solid. We'll get a piece of catalogue paper, test the edge. As I say, hollow ground blade. I think it's 440C, if I've not said already. So that's more than an adequate edge out of the box. And being 440, it won't be difficult to get that to a really razor edge. Very nice indeed. So I do like this. I just wish they hadn't cut corners. Sorry about that. Let's just recap my conclusions. I'm very happy with this. For the price, £20. The build quality is lovely. The fit and finish is excellent. If you can live with the design problems, which basically mean that two of the tools are only really suitable for very light use, then I'd recommend it. If that's going to be a deal breaker for you, I'd spend you 20 quid on a Rough Rider instead. And look at that, it's not on that, is it really? So, lovely, lovely thing. Didn't quite hit the spot. Hope you found that interesting. we'll have a look at the usual slideshow, and thanks for watching.